Hello, my friends. This is the Bitcoin 1 month overview reading for July 2022. It's currently June 6th, 2022, 11:43 p.m. So the overall theme and behavior, we have something that's hidden comes to light. Something that's hidden comes to light here this month. And there's also a U-shaped dip is the main form. There's a U-shaped dip that forms somewhere near perpendicular diagonal trend lines. It's crossed with the completion of a rally. What I found interesting when I look at the 1 year for Bitcoin, early July is the satiety card, and that would indicate that we have the high early in the month, very likely. Behavior around the high is going to be profit taking from overbought territory on the RSI, and then we're going to have a major fake out on the low, the behavior around the low. What's interesting is that August's low card is the devil, and that there's congruency there. Because when I look at the 1 year, I'm really looking at a very broad, generalized, they're not the cards don't necessarily line up exact to the months. So we could have a lower low or a low at the end of the month. Let's get into it. So kind of a wild card to have as the first card in the reading, but we have a half day. Market closes at 2 p.m. on the 1st, on Friday the 1st. It's the Friday before July 4th. Market is closed on July 4th as well. But I say a wild card because it's generally a pretty big drop, the full card, but that's not necessarily the case. It's just something that's unexpected, or something that's improbable happens, we'll say, on the 1st. We're range bound on the 5th. There's two local lows. So what I mean by local lows is that if you're looking at a 1-day chart of Bitcoin for the 5th, you're going to see two prominent lows, or two prominent troughs, I should say. One of them is going to have a fast sudden move higher out of that, and the other one is going to have also a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of a decline. We have a month's prominent crest here on the 6th. It's either a high or a prominent crest. We have selling from near overbought territory on the RSI, or I should just say near overbought territory. And then on the 7th, we have a prominent trough. Now this actually may be the first low for the month here on the 7th. We have a notable decline with an opportunity to go bullish in the midst of it. Position for a bullish strategy. We revisit a support level that was a past good opportunity. We dip to it, so there'll be sideways rotation, and then we have a sharp dip that in the midst of that sideways rotation to meet the low here and an opportunity. On the 8th, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance followed by a decline through key support. So likely what we do is early in the day we move higher and then we drop, which is why we have the month's low correlator on the 7th rather than the 8th, because we go up and then back down. Sorry guys, I just noticed is it? Ah, okay. Yeah, so I think this is very likely one of the month's lows here on the 7th. Uh, but falling from like a prominent crest on the 6th. All right, on the 11th, we have notable move to the upside. There's like a breakout, a lot of bullish energy, but then that is also matched with another sharp dip, with an opportunity to go bullish in the midst of the sharp dip. That's what you'll see on the 11th. On the 12th, we have multiple headwinds pushing the stock lower, or pushing Bitcoin lower. Excuse me. And then there's, in a period of volatility, possibly some negative headwinds. And in a period of volatility, there's a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of that period of volatility. It also takes us to the local high for the 12th. On the 13th, we have two local highs. We also have a notable decline here, and looks like we have a prominent. We have there's a lot of ground covered here on the 13th. A lot of ground covered. It looks like we may even drop from like a high, like another crest, you could say, or like probably like the same level that we reached on the 11th. And then there's two local highs. One of those, it's going to be a period of volatility that ends with a fast sudden move higher to form the local high, and then the other one is going to be more like a triangular shape. There may be some holding pattern in there around there, but there'll be like a pop higher and then back down, and also something to do with like Congress or not so commonly seen on the news leader. Possibly like a foreign legislative agency, something like that, is going to be highlighted as well. We have 2 months low correlators here on the 14th and the 15th. So we have sideways rotation, along support level. And then it continues. So there's like sideways rotation 14th and 15th along a support level, and that's going to be a month's trough, likely the same price level as the 7th or lower. On the 18th, we have a notable decline that increases with momentum as we move forward throughout the day. There's two local lows. One of those local lows is going to be a prominent trough on a multi-day chart. Or excuse me, I should say a prominent trough on a one-day chart. It'll be a prominent trough, like there'll be a steep decline into that. Actually, both local lows are going to have a steep decline, and one of those will be an opportunity to open up a long position to sell the following day on the 19th. Like, and there's possibly a day trade here on the 19th. We move higher through resistance. We stay there above it briefly, and then we break back down through it. There's a trade opportunity that's highlighted around that move through resistance and then back down, and then there's also a trade opportunity there in the midst of a sharp dip within a period of decline. Looks like likely a lot of ground is covered here on the 19th as well. On the 20th, we have, and yes, we have a U-shaped dip here. Something possibly hidden comes to light, but we have a U-shaped dip here on the 19th as well. So that combined that in there. On the 20th, we have sideways fluctuations with a bearish trend, two local highs and one local low. The local highs, one is going to be a fast sudden move higher that marks the end of a period of volatility. Other one is going to have more of a triangular, like pop higher and then back down. And then the local low is going to form after a steep decline, and it also provides another opportunity to open up a long position. It looks like to sell the following day, or possibly on on the 21st or the 22nd. Hard to pinpoint there, but on the 21st, I'm advised to be prudent. I likely will not trade on the 21st, so there you go, the 22nd. It looks like on the 21st we have a low, and then we pop higher. On the 22nd, we're likely bouncing along resistance. It's either the 21st or the 22nd, or both. We're bouncing along resistance. We may pop through resistance and then bounce along resistance again. Looks like we have a high. Yeah, there's a notable move there to bounce along resistance. One local high, one local low, and a trade opportunity. So, like, to get out of the long positions that I likely would have purchased on the 19th, or on the 20th, I should say. And that looks like at the end of the day on the 21st or midday on the 22nd. Hard to say, really, because there's a month's low correlator there on the 22nd as well, and that's something global. It's a big deal for Bitcoin, not just like like one little section of it, but like the decline will have something to do like on a global level, and it'll bring us to another month's prominent trough. On the 25th, we have selling down to support, through support, and then back up to use that price level as support again. And there's a trade opportunity in there around a move higher through resistance and then back down through that same price level, as well as a U-shaped dip. So there's like a U-shaped dip, and we come back to use like where we broke down through that price level. We'll come back to use it as a support again. On the 26th, we have an important support level highlighted. There's one local high, and there is a trade opportunity as well. So I would have to look closer at the dailies if I did dailies for the 25th and the 26th. I would be able to determine that there's a trade there between the 25th and the 26th, but it's a little hard to read with just this information. The local high happens. The local high is formed at a distant resistance level after like a notable rally to it, and that move higher marks the end of a period of rotation. Looks like it's probably towards the end of the day, and then at the end of the day or overnight there's a rally, there's a decline, or the beginning of a notable decline with a lot of movement. The following day on the 27th, we have three pokes through resistance, and on the third poke we drop sharply. On the 28th, a bunch of negative headwinds makes everybody expect the Bitcoin to go lower, but it goes higher. It possibly even breaks through resistance, like possibly multiple. And then on the 29th, we have local high and a trade opportunity again. An agreement between two leaders or a merger of some kind is going to be highlighted on the 29th, and the one local high is going to form in the midst of some volatility due to headwinds. There'll be volatility there, and there'll be a fast sudden move higher marking the end of that period of volatility. The trade opportunity is going to involve a sudden dip within a period of decline. And then the sneak preview card for the following month, which will be August, is 3 crisscrosses through the same price level with a bullish trend. There'll also be the completion of a rally there. Yeah, and that's Bitcoin, guys. That's July Bitcoin. If you like this sort of thing, you want to see more Bitcoin, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. That's how you help support us, my friends. Much appreciated. And also, you can always share this with somebody that you think it'll help. It doesn't just mean to make money. Maybe they learn something about stocks, or maybe it just blows their mind because they see something that's supposedly impossible taking place. And with that said, guys, most importantly, when you make that money, pay it forward. I'll see you on the next one.